One night, a young woman was home alone when she began hearing strange noises coming from another part of her house. Initially, she thought it might just be the wind or maybe the house settling, but the sounds kept getting louder. Nervous but curious, she grabs her phone and heads down the hallway to investigate. That's when she sees this. A creepy face of someone or something can be seen peeking out of a doorway before it dashes out of sight, and the video cuts off. Now, here's the thing. If this really happened, why stop filming? Why not keep recording, especially after seeing something that disturbing? That's why some viewers think this was staged. But whether real or fake, one thing's for sure, it's seriously creepy. But what do you think? Did she capture something paranormal? Or was it a well-orchestrated hoax for some quick views? Share your thoughts in the comments. In April 2024, a tragic accident occurred on a rural stretch of road in Poland. A driver reportedly lost control of his vehicle and crashed into a tree at the edge of a swampy forest. Rescue workers and local reporters quickly arrived at the scene, documenting the wreck and taking photographs from multiple angles. But later that day, when they reviewed the images, they noticed something that hadn't been there before. Do you see it? Standing just behind the crash site, something transparent can be seen in the bushes. But what is it? What's even stranger is that no one at the site saw anyone standing there. In the area where the figure is standing, rescue workers say it would have been impossible for a person to access, as this area is surrounded by deep, swampy marsh with no solid ground to stand on. So who, or rather what, is this? This next video was recorded by a man who was out camping alone in the woods. Sometime after dark, he was awoken by strange sounds echoing outside his tent. The sounds didn't stop, and so he decided to grab his phone and step outside to check. At first, he didn't see anything, but then he heard something right above him, something that made his blood run cold. Two glowing eyes can be seen peering down at the man. At first, it looks like it could just be the eyes of an animal. However, if we brighten and enhance the footage, a pale, human-like head appears, watching the man from the darkness. The man says it was impossible for any human to get up there, and that the noise it was making was unlike anything he'd ever heard before. Noises so sinister that they would send shivers down the spines of even the bravest of people. So what is this thing so high up in the trees looking down at this camper? Comment and let me know. Bob Gimlin uploaded the following clip to YouTube with the title, "My Paranormal Evidence, Some of the Best I've Ever Seen." He explains in the description that he was a night manager at a resort, and one of his duties was to patrol the spa a couple of times at night. He goes on to say that the following capture is, quote, "Ghost Phenomena." On the night of October 22nd, 2016, he patrols the spa late at night. He'd just bought a new iPhone earlier that day and was excited about using the phone's camera. As he walks around the spa, he randomly snaps pictures with his new iPhone. In total, he took 118 photos during his patrol that night. but after reviewing the photos, he noticed something strange in several of them. Here's what he captured.
But I don't even remember when I noticed the figures in the frames. But I know it wasn't the night I took them. It must have been in the following days. Which brings us to our first apparition. So first I look down this long, creepy hallway. Then I turn to go into one of the service rooms, have a look about for whatever reason. And then I get fixated on this window at the end of the hall. I take 3 photos of the window. And then one at the floor. The baseboard, maybe. And I must have walked away. I'm looking at the window from a distance, but I'm heading back to it. And then here is the first of several in this sequence that seem to depict something else, to the right of the flash. And if you're not convinced, you can see it better on the live capture, and I'll replay it. Again, I didn't even notice the figure in this sequence until I started working on this video. This was not the subject of this video. I haven't even gotten to the good part yet. And it's easy to think at first that this silhouette is just me, but it's not, because I'm holding the phone in front of my face, and you can even make out that there's no arm between where the figure is and the flash. Just to be clear, I'm holding the phone to my face on the left. To prove that the silhouette on the right isn't me, look at this photo from earlier, from a few photos ago. See, no figure. I'm the only silhouette in the picture, with the flash in front of my face. And then about 10 pictures later, in the same spot, I'm not the only figure in frame.
In the reflection of the window, what looks like a dark figure can be seen standing right next to Bob. Bob Gimlin is certain that these captures are paranormal, and YouTube viewers agree. But what's your verdict? Did Bob capture real paranormal evidence as he says? Comment below. This next video comes from an unknown source. It was apparently recorded by a family travelling down a remote stretch of road at night. No houses for miles, but as they drove further, they decided to take a turning to look for gas. Just a few miles down this road, they spotted a house, but the house itself didn't catch their eye. It was this. Something dark can be seen morphing into different shapes on the front porch of this secluded house. The family watch in confusion as whatever this is moves in an incredibly unnatural way, because no matter how many times you rewatch this, it only gets more bizarre. This next video takes us to the apartment of a young man named Sam, who'd been renting a place so cheap it almost seemed too good to be true. Locals told him that strange things had happened inside, things such as lights flicking on and off when the place was vacant, and the previous tenants had all left in a hurry not long after moving in. But Sam didn't believe in the supernatural one bit, so he moved in, brushing off the rumours. But shortly after moving in, creepy things started happening. One night, Sam is disturbed by something coming from another part of his house. lights swing back and forth all on their own. Then objects are hurled across the room like an invisible force is lashing out. After witnessing this, Sam realizes that the exact same thing his neighbors warned him about is happening to him, and whatever is there with him wants him to know it. Terrified, he decides to move out immediately, convinced the only way to escape was to leave the apartment behind. But here's the question: is changing addresses really enough? Or will whatever found him in that apartment follow him into his new home? A clip shared by an anonymous French social media user has recently caught the attention of paranormal enthusiasts. Although information about the origins of this clip are scarce, it seems that it was recorded in an abandoned prison somewhere in France. From what I can tell, the cameraman is filming an urban exploration video, but when he goes down to the basement, he accidentally captures something horrifying on camera.
Est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un encore qui habite ici? Waouh, l'état de la cave. C'est quoi ça?
A tall figure can be seen peeking out from behind a wall, its eyes glowing white in the gloom. The cameraman freezes in terror and the figure regards him silently for a moment. Then, without warning, it springs towards him. The clip ends with the cameraman's terrified cries. Since the origins of this clip are currently a mystery, it's impossible to say what happened after the footage cuts off. Let's just hope the cameraman survived this horrific encounter. Hospitals can be places of healing and sometimes something much darker. That's what Celeste, a night shift worker, discovered while covering late hours in a hospital already known among staff for its eerie atmosphere. Some colleagues whispered about shadows moving in empty hallways, others about faint voices calling their names when no one was there. Most brushed it off as tricks of their mind after long shifts, but Celeste wanted answers. So she decided to film her rounds late at night, determined to capture whatever might be hiding in the dark corners of the hospital.
Hola, yo hoy quiero contar mi experiencia acá en el Hospital Nacional grabando los pasillos. Realmente, aunque no se vio nada paranormal, pero sí que el ambiente estaba muy pesado. Yo ando grabando de noche sola los pasillos, ¿verdad? Pero nunca vi cosas paranormales. Escuché la historia de María Soledad acá en el Hospital Nacional, me entró la curiosidad y quise grabar, pero no se vio nada. Pero sí, en los primeros días que estuve grabando me dolió mucho la cabeza, como 3 días me estuvo doliendo mucho la cabeza. Pero vamos a seguir grabando.
At first, night after night, her recordings turned up nothing. But then, one evening, things took a terrifying turn. As Celeste quietly walked a deserted hallway, an unsettling growl echoed right next to her phone's microphone. Strangely, she never heard it in person, only discovering it later when reviewing her footage. The noise seemed to follow her, growing louder. As she reached the elevators, the doors began opening and closing on their own, as if something unseen was moving with her through the empty hospital. Celeste realized something was following her, something that seemed to feed off her fear. A few nights later, determined to face whatever it was, she ventured to the top floor, an area known among staff for strange activity. As Celeste climbs the staircase, growling, and what sounds like a woman's voice humming a tuneless song can be heard. And when she reaches a closed door at the top, there's a pentagram marked into it, meaning someone marked it there, indicating that evil lurks inside. A few nights later, at 3 AM, Celeste records this. Growls can be heard, and behind the door, a dark figure can be seen. However, when Celeste goes through, no one's there. After posting these clips to the internet, viewers were creeped out. Some believe that this hospital holds something dark, something sinister, or perhaps someone that never left after passing. But what do you think? Junkie, whose real name is unknown, was staying at a hotel somewhere in Spain. Late one night, they took the elevator up to their room, but the elevator seems to have a mind of its own.
Alright, so it's been doing this for a minute, and there's nothing out there. You need to hit that gym. 1588 kilograms. What's going on? You wanna figure it out?
Yeah.
Alright, no, that did something,
No. Dude, I don't know.
What is going on?
Are we too heavy? Is there someone there? What the?
The elevator stops on a floor with nothing but darkness. Floor 16, which is under renovation, with no guests and no lighting. The group reported to the front desk, and the receptionist told them that it had happened before, even though no one was staying on that particular floor. For some odd reason, this elevator takes guests to floor 16, and no one knows why. Later that night, Junkie and his friends take the elevator back down, but something happens that really creeps them out.
Yo, so this elevator is acting mad weird. We started a few floors up, and
Yo. Did we stop? Are we?
To the group's horror, the elevator suddenly shuts down mid-ride, and the group can do nothing but wait to be saved.
Alright, so the power is out. The backup, yeah, there you go. The backup generator's been coming on and off. We've been having the time of our lives. And yeah, we're like cooking alive.
The group wait patiently in the elevator for rescue to arrive, but what they don't realize is that they weren't alone in that elevator.
Oh. Oh, he's cooking something.
What are you doing?
Yep. Yep.
I gotta pee.
Oh, you gotta pee.
It's making my bladder. I gotta pee.
You gotta pee.
I feel like a rapper. Circle, go. I gotta pee.
Oh, yeah.
I'm holding my bladder.
Yep.
I gotta pee. I don't know what else is going. I gotta pee. It's making me mad. Going like so. In your
I gotta pee somewhere else.
like Bowser.
Guys, this is probably the worst thing.
Now again, did you see it? In the corner of the elevator, something dark rises up right before the lights go out. But what the is it? None of the group noticed it at the time, and what happened next only deepened the mystery, because in this final clip, the elevator doesn't take them to safety.
We're moving.
Fine. Thank you.
Where are we
Oh,
going?
wait.
Stop. No.
That's the same one as before.
No.
Alright.
The elevator begins to move again, and the group are relieved. However, it doesn't reach the ground floor. Instead, it takes them back to floor 16, the floor filled with darkness. So, what is going on here? A glitched elevator? Or something that wants new guests? And that dark thing in the corner, what was it? Something paranormal? You tell me. This next unsettling video was uploaded to TikTok by El Cesar Torres 1, a creator who's been documenting a series of increasingly disturbing events happening in his home. According to El Cesar, it all started after he began trying to communicate with the other side. Using EVP devices, a Ouija board, and other tools, he hoped to make contact, but instead, something may have answered. Over the following weeks, the activity in his home began to escalate, and soon, El Cesar started to regret ever reaching out. One night, while lying in bed, he hears strange noises outside his room. Then, without warning, the TV suddenly cuts out. Already on edge, he grabs his phone and starts recording, and this is what he caught.
No. No mames. ¿Qué pedo? O sea, chequen. Mis manos están aquí. No. La verga.
The TV stops receiving signal, and El Cesar sounds pretty nervous. The TV then switches off. But did you catch it? As the camera pans around the room, a dark figure can be seen just standing there, motionless in the darkness. The video then ends there. After uploading this video to his TikTok account, El Cesar's viewers believe that whatever this is responsible for all the activity he's been encountering in his life. And after watching his other videos, it kinda makes sense, as, well, he may have summoned something he was never meant to reach. A man who goes by the username Native Penguin was out exploring one day when he came across something unsettling. He came across an area filled with old boarding houses for Cherokee girls. Back in 1877, one of those houses burned down, taking its history and possibly more with it. Upon approaching one of the houses, he captures this.
Am I tripping, or is there something going on in here?
After moving to Indian territory, Cherokee Nation set aside 1 acre of ground for ancient church congregation. Moravians, Baptists.
Dude, that's so creepy. Why is this?
Sounds can be heard coming from inside one of the old boarding houses, but it's locked shut and no one's inside it. And apparently it's been closed since 2020. He continues looking around and comes across another boarding house. This is where he claims he caught a quote ghost. Watch closely.
Dude, that scared me. I was like, there's someone in there.
At Mount Zion Church, where I pastor, we conduct our services in both languages, Cherokee and English. And when we have a Cherokee audience.
Did you spot it? As Native Penguin peers in through a window, something dressed in white can be seen walking inside the old building. It's pretty hard to see, but if we play it back and forth a few times, we can see that something is definitely moving inside the old boarding house. But the question is, who or what is it? Native Penguin uploaded this video with the caption, "Ghost caught on GoPro," and many agree that this is exactly that. But what's your verdict? Is this a ghost? Uploaded to the internet by user CCE Pedrao, this next video has left viewers spooked. Simone believes something is haunting the forest outside her home for several nights. The sounds of wailing would echo through the trees outside the back of her property. Her husband would go out to check, but he would never find anyone. As time went on, the noises would get louder, as if they were getting closer night by night. Eventually the noises became so loud, like something was standing directly outside the back of their home. So they decided to set up a CCTV camera to monitor their backyard 24/7. And late one night, just after 11 PM, their CCTV camera captured this. A white figure peeks out from behind the family's shed, staring right at their property. It then moves before slowly fading away. Viewers of this video believe that this is a spirit, but I'm not too sure. Well, the peeking here looks a bit staged, and the phasing part here could potentially just be a glitch with the night vision on the security camera. I rarely show these types of CCTV captures, as it's a known issue with the night vision that sometimes they don't always detect real people at night correctly. Like this video, for example, posted to the subreddit Ghosts 5 years ago. When lighting is uneven and the camera hasn't fully switched to infrared, it struggles to record anything that's moving in the dark side of the camera, so you sometimes get people fade in or out because the camera can't function properly since it's caught between infrared and daytime camera. So yeah, maybe it's just a bug in the tech, but then again, maybe it's not. Let me know what you think though, glitchy camera or something paranormal. You decide. This eerie footage was uploaded to Instagram by Ghost Golden Guns back in 2023, but recently it started going viral across social media. According to the uploader, just days after moving into a new home, strange things began happening around the house. At first, it was minor, odd noises, unsettling vibes, but soon the activity became impossible to ignore. So, curious and disturbed, he started recording everything on his phone.
Yo, what up? Ghost Golden Guns over here, and I'm going live right now because that's why. Hello? Hello? Is anyone there? What the f***? What the f***? Who is out? Oh my god. Oh my goodness, what the f***? Hello, who is there? Oh my goodness, please stop. What the f***? Please stop, please stop. This is my house. Leave, leave, this is my house. You're not allowed here, leave. Oh my goodness. Hello. Oh my goodness.
Objects can be seen moving on their own, but what happened next was far more chilling. On another night, while strange noises echoed through the house again, he grabbed his phone to investigate, and that's when he captured this.
What the f***?
A dark figure can be seen silently peeking from the bedroom door, just standing there watching him until it slowly fades back into the darkness. Already unnerved, he tries to carry on as normal, but then, on yet another night, something even more terrifying happens.
What the f***?
Some sort of apparition-like thing appears at the man's bedroom door. He approaches, but then it vanishes out of sight, never to be seen again. Horrified by what he's just witnessed, the man decides he's had enough and stays the night at a friend's house. But just what did he see that night inside his home? And just what is this? Is it something paranormal? You decide. It started off as just another quiet night shift until something unusual happened. The footage you're about to see was captured at a 24-hour gym late at night. A personal trainer is seen standing in the middle of the gym, talking to someone. At first, it looked completely normal. The overnight staff assumed he was helping a late-night client. But as they watched more closely, something about it really creeped them out. seeing this, the staff members radioed the trainer and asked him directly, "Who were you talking to just now?" The trainer responded without hesitation. He said a man had come in asking how to register for a membership, so he explained everything and watched him leave. But then, the staff member showed him the recording, and the trainer's reaction says it all. He's visibly shaken, so startled he can't even hold his water bottle, because in the footage, he's talking to no one, just standing there, mid-conversation, completely alone. Some say it's just a prank, maybe a staged clip for publicity, but what came next changed a lot of minds. Later that week, after the gym had closed for the night, another camera picked up something unusual. A thick mist appears near the ceiling, slowly drifting downwards, twisting into shape. It moves, unlike fog, and it doesn't behave like smoke. After seeing this footage and the clip of the trainer talking to no one, many viewers are convinced this gym might be haunted. But what do you think? Was the trainer really alone, or is something else lingering inside the gym? The clips were uploaded by Haunted Amelia, a young woman who lives in the UK. Amelia recently bought a 250-year-old house with the plan to renovate it. However, when she came to restore the aged floorboards, she noticed that one of them was loose. Curious, she lifts it up and makes a surprising discovery.
It's wedged under the old floorboards. Whoa. It's definitely a book. But they're not like actual pages, they're like really thick.
Amelia is shocked to discover an old book buried underneath the loose floorboard. She opens it up and finds it's filled with photographs. At first, the photographs are all portraits of various people, but then things take a more unsettling turn.
I noticed what seemed like a very old photo of my house. This is when the pictures took an unsettling turn. The rest of the album is filled with pictures of empty rooms that have an unsettling feeling. A dark shadow appears in all of these photos.
As Amelia gets further into the book, she finds photographs of what appear to be empty rooms. Considering the age of the pictures, which were likely captured in the late 1800s when photography was a long, expensive and precise process, it seems strange that someone would go to the trouble of photographing empty space. Unless they suspected that something was there, something that couldn't be seen with the naked eye. Amelia notices that each photo has a dark shadow in it. She doesn't know what it is, but she claims to feel uneasy for several days after finding the book. This next clip, which she posted a few days later, only made her feel more creeped out.
And it's like, it just stopped. And now it's like, am I tripping out?
A single dart can be seen hovering just inches away from the dartboard, slowly moving as if something invisible is holding it. But how is that possible? Amelia has no idea how to explain it, but she can't help feeling like this mysterious phenomenon is linked to the old book she found under the loose floorboard. In this final clip, Amelia hears a disturbance coming from upstairs and she goes to investigate. As Amelia enters the bedroom, the curtain suddenly pulls back and then an object flies across the room. But how? This has led viewers to speculate that, just like the dart in the previous clip, this activity is paranormal and is linked to the book Amelia found. As one commenter says, what if by opening the book you have released what was being held in the photos? This suggests that Amelia's house may be haunted. But the question remains, what is the dark shadow in the old photographs, and why was the book buried under the floorboards? You tell me. A man who works in a funeral home uploaded this next video after he started hearing strange noises in the middle of the night. He claims that there's no one else in the building at the time of the recording, so he grabs his phone and goes to investigate. What he caught on camera is chilling.
Miren, raza, estoy acomodando estas tablitas aquí, pero ya tiene rato que se escucha algo allá al fondo. Allí está un maniquí. Son una lata, pero es un ruido muy extraño. Mira, ¿sí lo vieron? Ok. Mira, se asoma una sombra, pero se mete. Mira. Ay, hijo de su... Pero se me enchina la piel. Y es que ya tiene rato. Ay. Bueno, como sea, va a quedar. Y es que guachen aquí. No hay flash. No pasa nada. Mira, estas son las estatuas que te digo. Pero se asomaba de ahí.
Something can be seen peeking out from behind a refrigerator. Creeped out, the man gathers his courage and approaches the area to check on whatever this is. However, there's nothing there. Whoever or whatever was just behind the refrigerator has gone. Since the man claims there's no one else in the building, just who or what could this be? Share your thoughts below. A young man named Danny shared the clip you're about to see back in February this year. Danny claims to have seen some strange, unexplainable phenomena along the coastline of Lima, Peru, so he decides to record a live stream while walking around late at night, in the hopes to capture something on camera. At 12:30 AM, Danny runs into a stray dog, and this is where things start to get creepy.
¿Qué hace? Ven, te vas a caer. Mano, esto no es un perro, mano. Este es un aviso de algo, huevón. Poco, huevón, ¿ah? Mano, esto está bien sospechoso, huevón. Este huevón está bien sospechoso. Voy a seguir avanzando, ¿ok? No voy a correr, hermano. Espera, todavía no voy a correr. Eran choros, hermano. Ya sé, pero por eso te digo. Es el perro se convirtió en humano. ¿Qué hablan, mano? Oh, mano, los filmes, ¿saben qué? Está muy extraño todo, mano.
A person in dark clothes can be seen following behind Danny, but they eventually disappear from view. Danny thinks the person was a thief who could have been planning to rob him until they saw that he was live streaming. However, the next person Danny encounters is more difficult to explain.
Escúchame. Mano, este pata está arriba, huevón. Mano, escúchame. Mano, mira cómo traspasa su cuerpo. ¿Vieron?
A man in a hat is standing behind Danny, but as he moves, we see that his body appears see-through. As Danny records, the man seems to fade away into thin air. Danny and his viewers were shocked, especially since this was recorded during a live stream, which would have made it pretty hard to fake. Many viewers speculate that what Danny caught on camera was a kind of paranormal entity called a Karasiri. In Peruvian folklore, a carasiri is similar to a vampire, and if that's really what this was, Danny had a lucky escape. But the question remains, just where did this figure go? Reddit user TinyProfessor9680 recently uploaded a photo to our paranormal encounters, and Redditors have been left creeped out. The OP explains that a friend sent him the photo, which was taken in the English resort town Blackpool back in 2016. The OP says his friend was walking along the beach with his family when his mother took a photo of him and his younger brother. At first, it seemed like a nice family photo, but when the OP's friend looked at it more closely, he was horrified to discover something that shouldn't have been there. Can you see it? Between the two boys, a creepy face can be seen staring right at the camera. No one noticed anything wrong at the time, and the OP's friend still has no logical explanation for what this could be, as, well, it was just his friend and his family. The only thing he can think of is that this is a ghost, and that's why he didn't see it until he checked the photo. Redditors on the subreddit Our Paranormal Encounters were left spooked by this photo, with one Redditor commenting, "This is actually the most disturbing picture I've seen since I started following this sub. This one freaked me out. But is it a ghost? You tell me." A teenager in Texas was out in the woods near his home, filming a TikTok video to show off a makeshift base he'd built by hand. At first, it's just him showing off the base he built.
Hey guys, I just wanted to show you guys my cool base that I made a while ago with my cousin. It's really nice. See, we got that.
But then, something scares him so much that he takes off running.
Oh. Well, that stinks. But yeah, we got some chairs. What was that? Is that a cow? What is that? Oh, frick!
A noise startles the teenager, who goes to see what could have caused it. He inspects the area, and then suddenly, some sort of figure charges towards him, moving at rapid speed. The teen then lets out a scream, flees in absolute fear. The video then cuts off. This video is titled "Rake Sighting in Texas," and viewers believe that this is exactly that, the rake, a pale, humanoid entity said to live in remote forests, only ever seen in terrifying moments like this. No one knows what happened after the recording ended, but based on how that thing moves, he was right to run. Sometimes the scariest part of a haunting is realizing your pet can see it, but you can't. A woman named Britt had already experienced some strange things inside her home. Her pet dog Josie kept acting as if someone was there, someone she couldn't see. Creeped out, she steps outside to make a phone call to her friend, explaining the situation. Her friend suggests she documents everything, so Britt does just that.
In the middle of a freaking cemetery in my front yard, which probably doesn't help my cause, but I was just inside, I'm by myself with my dog. Yeah, she's just been staring at that, and then she started barking, and she growled, And when she growled, I kind of like booked it. But I don't really know. Like, that's usually like her stance while she's waiting for me to come home. And I'm just like, is she waiting for someone to walk out of that closet? Like,
As Britt is outside, Josie can be heard barking aggressively inside her house. And when she reaches her bedroom, Josie can be seen staring directly at an open closet. But what is she looking at? And at the same time, a camera placed by Britt's bed aimed at the closet clearly shows that there's nothing in the closet. Nothing can be seen. Creeped out, Britt goes to take a look inside the closet.
what she's staring at. Because again, like, this is usually how she looks when she's waiting for me to come in, and I'm just like...
Britt shows there's nothing inside, just a solid wall. So again, what was Josie the dog barking so aggressively at? In this next clip, Josie becomes interested in something at the cemetery on Britt's property.
Josie, what's going on?
After uploading this video to the internet, viewers wanted to know more about the graveyard, which is literally a few feet away from Britt's front door. Britt's family and her cats are buried in the cemetery outside her house, and mentions that some of her cows come to the area and surround it, but she has no idea why.
So a lot of you guys have also been asking questions about the graveyard. Yes, we do indeed have a graveyard on this property, which I know may be weird for some people, but so this was my grandparents. Before they passed away, they buried all of their cats right here where you see the little crosses, and it was their wish to be buried right here, just where they were. They were all very loved and they lived for very long. So that's really all that there's to it, but things have been quite strange lately. Like, for some reason, cows just like come to this area sometimes and like surround it, because we during the day we leave that gate open.
Later that day, this happens.
See, this is what I'm talking about. They literally just come and hang out here all the time now. It's a newer development.
Bizarrely, all the cows surround the graveyard, just like Britt said earlier.
And really breathe.
But just what exactly is going on here?
And they just kind of will freeze and won't move.
What could Britt's dog Josie see that just wasn't there? Or was there something hiding in her closet? Something that came from the gravesite outside Britt's home? Share your thoughts on this one in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you're up for more scary videos, check out one of these next. You're gonna love them. Oh, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.